so the Atlanta Voice News presents PPP, and that's not the PPP loan, okay? It's the Prosperity Playbook podcast. And for our show today, we are calling this Digital Dash. Y'all ever heard that song? It's a song, right? You heard that song?
Yeah.
We have Mr. Chris, what's your last name?
Williams.
Mr. Christopher Williams of
Elite Web Professionals.
Elite Web Professionals. And one of the reasons we asked him to do one of our first shows is because of what you're doing in the community when it comes to digital marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super excited to kind of bring one of our missions into play today. So the Prosperity Playbook podcast, we have 5 different missions, and one is to educate, inspire, motivate, advocate, and demystify false information that that has been going around, limited thoughts processes, and we've been talking about energy all day. I'm super excited that you're here, and I would love for you to kind of
Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Share your story of how you achieved financial independence and highlight the possibilities it is for our listeners. I think that's where we're going to come from. We're going to inspire in this episode. Now, we've been talking about the 48 Laws of Power all month. That's the book of the month. And that is one of the books that kind of like changed my life. Like it changed my life when it came to me understanding how to operate in this 3D world. So for our quote today for you, Mr. Williams, we're going to go with Law 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Law 2 says, I need your point of view on this, okay? Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. What does that mean, right? Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical. Is that a word? Yes? Oh, okay. But hire a former enemy and he will be more loyal than a friend because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Is this a true law?
Absolutely. I think that, in the marketing realm, it's very powerful that sometimes your competitors will give you great referrals. In that if it's a service that they don't do,
Yeah.
they will quickly go look for someone who provides a service. And so sometimes someone who may look as your competitor will also be a lead source for you and vice versa. And you can actually thrive in cases when you're super busy. You can pass some leads to them, and then and they're the places a service that they don't offer for their clients and you do, then they can provide those leads for you.
So as far as this quote goes, have you ever had to use this, or have you experienced this just in not just business, but in your personal life?
In my personal life, have I ever turned an enemy to a friend?
Or a friend to an enemy, or vice versa? Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Like, do you feel like that is true about friendship? And when it comes to, like, I feel like sometimes admiration can turn to jealousy.
Very true.
And that has actually happened to me.
Mhm.
So in your experience, when it comes to dealing with just people in general, friends especially, because they're the only ones that can really disappoint you, right? People on the streets can't disappoint you because they don't know nothing about you. They don't have that emotional attachment. So have you ever had to deal with that?
I think it happens, when you deal with someone who's like, you know, a peer that they don't know what you're capable of. And many times you may be standoffish at first because they don't really know who you are. And you want to keep them close because you want to see where they are and how they can affect your growth. And so I do think it's important to see, what's possible, but um, your ability to continue to like see where they are.
Okay. That's pretty cool. So that's your point of view about that. But we want to take some pages out of your playbook. First of all, tell me how you got into this boring digital marketing world. Like everybody talking about digital marketing. Tell us what that means to you and how you got into this space.
I got into this space. My history is with the Yellow Pages. I started with them in 2005. I was green to marketing. I just came in, my first, business consultant position. And in 2005, 2006, in Atlanta, the newspaper was starting, the yellow pages was starting to, not perform as well.
Okay.
And so this company decided to start learning about the web, and they taught us some things that they had learned and how to get their clients some visibility, and so get our clients visibility. And so I took that to my clients to show them, hey, look, you can do this for your website, do this with your Google My Business, and it can get you on the first page. And so when I started doing that for my clients, they started ranking on the first page of Google.
Oh,
They started
wow.
getting phone calls, and so my help with them on their Google My Business got more leads than their yellow pages, and they were renewing with me because of what I had done for their yellow page for their Google work. And they were trying to give me money. They were trying to, do all these things, and I was like, no, you just renew your yellow pages, and I'll do it again next year. And so, eventually, I was like, I got to figure out how to make a website. Like this is the time. So, did great my first year, and I actually
And you said this
created
was 2006?
2007.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about the end of 2006, beginning of 2007.
Okay.
And so I built my first website in 2009.
Okay. Was coding or was it a template based website?
It was a template based website. It was
Okay.
Homestead back in the day. I don't know if anybody know about that as Intuit. That was the name for Intuit websites back then. And took me a week to build it. Got the first page within 7 days after I launched it. Went straight to the first page.
That's amazing. And it went to the first page by Googling phrases or the actual company, because there's a difference.
Exactly. So that's exactly right. So it was a personal training website, and it came up on the first page for personal training in the city that I was in.
That's what's up.
And so within that first month, they got about 30 calls, and next thing you know, they told a friend, and they told a friend. Within 6 months, I had a total of about 15 to 16 projects, and it was starting to interfere with my day job. And so they called me in like, hey, we're gonna have to put you on a plane, or what are you gonna do? And I had to make a choice to take a chance on myself, and that's what I did. It's been 14 years.
That's amazing. So I see you have I am a creative entrepreneur. Would you say people in the digital space or in the tech space are creative, or
I would say so, yeah.
you would say so? Okay, so tell me how creative you are when it comes to, is it with the websites? Is it the design part? What is the creative process
I think the
deal?
creative process is being able to think outside of the box,
Yeah.
because one thing is you will always have to readjust in business. There's always going to be some thing that happens or doesn't work the way that you planned it. And I have a saying like, what are you going to do when it doesn't work?
Yeah.
What do you do when everything that they taught you in class, or that you learn and you study, that you do for every other project, doesn't work? And I face projects where I've actually gotten clients ranked on the first page of Google, and their phone's not ringing.
Wow.
So it's like, so now what? So now you got to think outside of the box.
You got to pivot.
You gotta be creative, and you gotta actually figure out the solution, because at the end of the day, in this business is results. What can you deliver?
Yes.
What are the results you can deliver?
Absolutely. So we're going to play a game.
Okay.
And it's going to be called True or False Digital Dash Style, right? Google sees, true or false, Google sees over 2 trillion searches per year.
True.
True. True or false, 3 and 4 SEO experts charge a monthly retainer fee, often between $500 and $1,000.
False.
False. True or false? Why you say it's false?
You said
3 and 4 SEO experts charge a monthly retainer fee.
3 out of 4?
3 out of 4.
Okay.
Charge a monthly retainer fee, often between $500 and $1,000.
I guess it's possible.
Is that low? Like, what if somebody is in this space and they're looking to become an SEO expert? What would you say is a good? Because we never talk about. What else I don't like in our community? We don't like to talk about money.
I don't want to talk about the
Y'all don't want to say, oh, well, this is how much I charge, or this is like, we got to start talking about the money like it's like the weather, right?
Okay.
So
I'll can I answer that? So the numbers you said, actually you are right. 3 out of 4 will charge $500 to $1,000. But what happens is a lot of these companies are charging prices, and they have no intent on making your website get on the first page of Google. They will send you these reports for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, still showing you that you're on page 2. And if you keep going, you eventually get on the first page.
Right.
And so, what I always like to do is I open up the websites and I show my clients, this is what has been done for your website. Do you agree with that strategy? And by
Mhm.
the time we go to just a simple meta tags, a title, description, they're like, that's not the keyword that I want. That's not what I want to focus my business on. And so, the companies that really are making websites rank on the first page, that are really making a lot of money, they have a different price structure. They're very specific at how they deliver the results,
Mhm.
and they charge a little bit differently.
So what's that price?
Typical prices, for SEO, they start at around $1,000 to $1,500 per month.
Does that include ads or
So
is
SEO is organic. So SEO includes all the things that they're doing to your website. So that's a good thing, a good question, because with SEO, you only pay the person working on your website. Okay.
mm,
So the person who's working on your website, let's say for example, you have a budget of $2,000 with your SEO. So
2000 what
two
for a
thousand
month?
$2,000 a month.
Okay.
Okay. If you have a budget of $2,000 a month for your SEO, you're only paying them for that. They're going to do all your market, your website, all the uh, market articles or videos or whatever they need,
Backlinks.
backlinks and everything they need to do to get you visibility. When you hire an ad person, that budget, if you pay them $2,000, is for them to create all your creatives. After the creatives, you now have to have a budget for your ads. So
Mm.
then now you turn around and pay Facebook, Twitter or TikTok another $3,000 to $4,000 to promote your brand as well. So that's a major difference between SEO and social media marketing, is that once you pay the SEO, that's it. Now, your budget for SEO is going to be a fraction of what you do for your ads.
Mhm.
But I believe that a strong SEO strategy completes a full marketing initiative, because what it does is protects you when people are searching for your name. They're searching for a variation of your name, whether they misspell your name or they are looking for a keyword
Mhm.
related to your business and they don't know who you are.
Mhm.
You now have an opportunity to be in a discussion to generate that lead as well. And sometimes with our display marketing, we create a search.
Mhm.
We may create someone looking for our industry because we create the interest with our ad on Instagram, our ad on television, but we created a search. But if we're not coming up organically when they Google search because they're
Mhm.
looking up reviews or they're looking up research to get more information,
Mhm.
that's an opportunity for one of your competitors to take that marketing that you created and
Mhm.
steal your client.
Wow. So let me ask you this. Most small businesses are broke AF. Okay, we're going to keep it nice and cute, right? So most startups, entrepreneurs, they can't afford this type of service. How would you tell them to go about scaling their business digitally if they can't afford 2,000 to 5,000 a month when it comes to marketing?
Well, I think that marketing is something that you don't have to afford because it should pay for itself. So
Mhm.
your homework is done on the front end, finding a reputable company that you can invest in, because it's not like a light bill or it's not
Mhm.
like a mortgage or rent.
Mhm.
When
Mhm.
you pay for marketing, you pay $1, you get $5 back, and it pays for itself. So
Mhm.
when I have created my business for 14 years, I have my clients work with me for 4 months.
Okay.
So I have to earn my job every month after 4 months. Okay.
Okay.
And so also, many of them sometimes work with their private, so they're marketing, they're paying for their marketing over 12 months.
Mhm.
But I have an interest in making sure they get phone calls, because in order for me to keep my job, I have to make sure I'm generating results.
Mhm.
And so I think
Mhm.
that's, you find a company that's actually results oriented,
Yes.
who are showing who show results from their previous clients,
Yeah.
who
Case studies,
their book of
testimonials.
business of the
Yeah.
referrals. So with people
Mhm.
who they show you, hey, look, this is what I've done for this company. This is what I did for that company. This is what I did for that company. What can
Mhm.
I call them? And then you have a relationship with that person where you can call them at that moment. I
Mhm.
think that helps because when you're looking at anything as to whether you can afford it up front, if
Mhm.
you're trying to shoot for the stars, it may be kind of hard to know if you can or not, right?
Right.
But your marketing will pay for itself, and that's just that's the goal.
That's the ideology behind
Uh,
marketing. It
uh,
should pay for itself.
on
And what's the realistic goal? You said you make them understand that they're going to be working with you for 4 months.
mhm.
Please demystify this whole thing. When people get marketing, they think they do marketing for what, 30 days, and
Right.
they're supposed to like just be on the first page.
Right.
What's the realistic goal when it comes to understanding that marketing takes what would you say the minimum amount of time for you to be successful in marketing digitally?
Great question. It really depends on the industry. I've seen websites that have been on the internet for a long time that just
Mm-hmm.
have not been served on their SEO.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them shoot to the first page in 30 to 45 days.
Wow.
I've seen that once you address some of the basic things, because they have not added the proper, meta tags. They haven't linked all their directories and those kind of things. So because they've been in business for 5 or 6 years, and they've been involved in the community, they've done, they've spoken to different conferences, they've been
Mm-hmm.
giving donations at churches, they've
Mm-hmm.
been doing different things in the community, and these people are linking back to them because they're actively in the community. So
Mm-hmm.
some of your vendors will link to you, and you may not even know it, they're linking to your website. So when you update it, I've seen them do well.
Mm-hmm.
For new businesses, in a real way, for a service like, and most marketing, really, even radio and TV, it takes some time.
Yeah.
It takes repetition. For SEO, 4 to 6 months is really a good amount of time for you to start seeing some results.
Okay.
And in a real way, once an effective SEO campaign is launched, you should see results, as in increased impressions, improved
Mm-hmm.
ranking within 30 days. You should see improved phone calls that are measurable, that you can really benefit from within in 4 to 6 months. Is a really good amount of time.
So you got to give yourself at least 120 days to see some results,
Absolutely.
at least.
And then from there, in a year's time, you will still see it continue to improve.
Mm-hmm.
And then, from there, the peak of SEO usually happens around the 2 year mark. That's when you really see
Mm-hmm.
what you can do, because you're adding pages to your
Mm-hmm.
website. I've been working with a lot of companies. I've had a lot of companies here in the last 2 months that's been reaching out to me for me to, um, do some research on their business. And what I
Mm-hmm.
found is some of the big companies, the multimillion-dollar brands,
Mm-hmm.
they have hundreds of pages on their website already. And so, just, you know, making sure that we're putting content to answer the person's questions, solve the queries of the user, of the person that's searching for what you do,
Mm-hmm.
is how you get your traffic.
That's amazing. So, let's switch gears. I want to take a page out of your playbook, right?
Okay.
So, I want to talk some more about some financial literacy information that you should convey to like the audience. One of the questions I have is, what advice or message would you give your future self regarding prosperity and finances?
What advice would I give my future self?
Regarding prosperity and finances.
Oh man, my what advice I would give to my future self is, you're here now. Look at what you've already accomplished. Look where you were a year ago. Look where you were 5 years ago. And if you did it before, you can do it again.
That's what my dad always tells me. He was like, I made 300,000 in one day with one check. I could do it again. I'm like, when that day coming, Daddy? It's been 10
That's
years.
my thing. If it happened
Yeah.
one time, it can happen again. And so,
Yeah.
just being able to take each victory that you have, and, allow that to fuel the next battle. And, the challenge may change, but you've overcome before, and believing that you can make it happen again. And, you're always going to strive to be better.
So it's about mindset, huh? It's
Absolutely.
big on mindset. It's big on faith, scratching your faith and
Absolutely.
making sure you understand that you to do. Is there like, well, I guess I'll get to that later. So have you made any personal mistakes that shaped your financial approach and that answer that you just gave? Like,
I think that, yeah, just worrying. I feel like,
okay.
I do feel like that's a mistake, and I've worked really hard to not worry, and actually,
What
believe
what
on.
do you be worried about? What are you worried about?
I mean, in the past, I've worried about money. I've worried about, bills, and trying to take care of things, and I've learned that, doing the things that I need to do, because by worrying about the problems, I'm not doing what I need to do. So
To resolve
focus
it.
on the moment, focus on the challenge at hand, and being committed to, um, being better, to evolving and growing. And that has saw me through so many different challenges. And, I think that's the advice that I would give to myself, to stick there.
What are two ways we can improve financial literacy within our culture?
In our culture, I think that we have to get comfortable with um, wanting more and be okay with it. I think that sometimes we are okay with selling for less, and I think that it's okay to want more. And if you're willing to pay the price,
What's that price though?
um, evolving, learning, growing, learning new
Discipline,
skills,
consistency.
discipline, consistency, absolutely. So I think that, just being able to, being okay with that and actually being willing to do what it takes to get it.
Okay. Okay. So there are some myths out there when it comes to financial literacy. Can we debunk some of these myths and spread some accurate information? What are some myths that's going on about finances and financial literacy that you would say need to be debunked?
Financial literacy myths. Let me think about that one.
Take your time. Like for instance, a million is the hardest to make. That's what they say. And once you make a million, you can make two, three, four, 500. So is that a myth? Or do you think that is do you think people think that certain goals are unattainable because of the amount of zeros?
Hmm.
Like, I think sometimes people think with financial literacy, you have to have a whole lot of money in order to save and in order to invest.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, what do you think is the myth around trying to get to $1 million? Or what do you think the myth is around, like, people think that they can't save or invest because of what? Do you like what do you think we need to focus on in our community so we can continue to have these conversations and we can build?
Hmm. I think that having the I'll talk about goals, right? I
Mhm.
think that setting the mindset of a goal in mind. I think when you set a goal, you actually also apply a certain amount of effort to that goal.
Mhm.
And I feel that many times that effort that you set to that initial goal is not enough.
Mhm.
So with goal setting, I think that maybe if you have a goal of, let's say, for example, $100,000, that's what you want to make.
Mhm.
Increase your goal to 300,000, 500,000,
Mhm.
and then do the amount of work that you need to do to achieve that.
Yes.
And I think that when you make it that effort, it
Mhm.
will be you will reach your goal and or exceed your goal. And I
Mhm.
think that that will help you feel better about yourself and actually achieve financial success even better. Because I think that that first goal is a safe goal that you think that's
Mhm.
attainable, and you're setting
Mhm.
it because it's safe.
Mhm.
And
It's easy to obtain.
that's something that setting goals that you feel make you uncomfortable a little bit. That
Mhm.
maybe I don't know if I could really do that.
Mhm.
Will help draw out something out of you that you might not have known that was there.
That's so important. I want to kind of take this time to talk about not 100,000, but a million. And the reason
Mhm.
I say that is because that's one of my goals.
That's
So
powerful.
when I first started saying I'm gonna be a millionaire 5 years ago, I had no idea. It was a goal, but I didn't have any objectives to obtain that $1 million.
Mhm.
And once I realized, okay, I needed to create verticals or products or services that would be able to allow me to achieve this, then I started seeing success in certain areas. So, what I'm learning is when you set a goal, you can say, oh, I want to be a millionaire, but do you have the millionaire mindset?
Mhm.
Do you have the discipline? Do
Mhm.
you have the structure? Do you have the verticals? Like, I literally created digital products. I've created this and I've created that. And I'm like, okay, let's break it down. If I want to be a millionaire, how many of these do I need to sell in order for me to see $1 million?
Mhm.
So everything that I created, I'm like, okay, with my digital product, I was like, if I'm gonna sell $1 million worth of this digital product to people, I gotta sell to 1,000 people
Mhm.
because the product is $1,000. So, obtaining the goal and understanding how to get to that number is important. And I think for a lot of people in our community, we don't even know. Like, we see people online and they live in this lavish, beautiful life and they doing this and they doing that, but we don't even know the struggle. We don't
Don't
know.
know.
We
And
don't
it's definitely struggle
know.
there.
It's struggle. So,
Mhm.
let's talk about how the struggle has helped you when it comes to your business and how you didn't quit. And then we're going to have some fun with some fun facts.
Man, I've seen some, some challenges, and I've seen myself do things that I didn't know I could do. I've
Mhm.
had to, cold call, people and meet new people and create new accounts at scale. I had to learn from, when I built a full book of business, so over 100 clients, and I had to learn a lesson about how a small team can only handle so many clients. So I actually had to adjust and adapt based off of that. So
Yeah.
I think that being able to evolve and look at the problems at hand
Yeah.
and come up with new creative solutions is what it takes.
It definitely takes that. So listen, Chris. So this is fun. We're gonna have fun. Morning routine in 10 seconds. What
Okay.
is your morning routine in 10 seconds?
Morning routines: get up, brush my teeth, take a bath, all that stuff, and then go to the gym.
Okay.
And then after the gym, I am on the computer.
Why is that gym so important to you in the morning? Why you don't do it at night? Why is that a part of your morning
I just got
routine?
to get my gym workout first thing, because by the time I get into my day, I actually try to get up as early as possible so I can get my gym out by 7 or 8, so that
Okay.
as my day starts around 9 or 10, my
Mm-hmm.
phone calls from my clients.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time my clients call, I may not be able to see that gym that day. So I want to get
Yeah.
out early.
Does that gym workout give you like the adrenaline and give you energy and all that good stuff? Do you think
I'm
it's
my best
vital?
self when I'm working out. Like I just
Okay.
feel better. Like when I
Yeah.
when I've gotten a good workout in. If I play ball or something like that, like I'm feeling good.
That's what's
So
up. That's what's up. So listen, emergency fund or retirement account, which would you do first and why?
emergency fund first, just because the emergency fund is what you put away just in case if something happens, and then once you have that emergency fund, then you invest in your retirement.
Okay. And last question, what is one of the best financial decisions you have made concerning your finances?
Um, the best the best decision that I've made regarding finances would be investing in myself, investing in my mind, and learning how to get better at my craft. Of all the investments that I made in other businesses, me learning how to do what I do, getting better at what I do,
Mhm.
and being exceptional at what I do has made me far more than any amount of money I've been able to put in any other business.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I would like for you just to just to round out this conversation that we've had. What would you tell our viewers about yourself, about your business, and for them to incorporate or implement as far as success is concerned?
Um, just so I understand your question, just introduce myself.
Yeah, just basically
Okay.
just to round out the conversation about, what we just talked about and just to kind of round out the whole prosperity playbook conversation we've had.
Okay.
I want you to just end it on what you think you would want to leave the audience with.
Well, hi, I'm Chris Williams with the Lead. This camera here.
Yes.
Well, I'm Chris Williams with Elite Wear Professionals. I think that, this conversation has been it's been a blessing to me. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here.
I just think that with everything that we're doing in our marketing journey, everything you're doing, trying to grow your business, build your brand, take a look at how to build your brand with your website as well. Don't forget your website. Focus on um, answering your customers' questions, creating tools and solutions for your clients. Because as you're doing your ads and doing your marketing, this will also be another safety net to build what you're doing. If you need help, I'm available at Chris Williams Inc. On Instagram. And my website is advertiserbusiness.org. And look forward to help you when you're ready.
All right, Chris. Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you
for
for
having me.
being here. Thank you so much. And y'all, that's a wrap. We'll see y'all next week. Okay.
All right, appreciate you.
How is that? Are you okay?